All right, what's up, folks? It is Sunday game day here live at Tampa Joe's in Tampa, Florida, 9316 Anderson Road in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida. It is currently right now about 81 degrees. Absolutely fantastic weather. Tons of Eagles fans in the house here. We're having a great time so far, and yet we're still about another hour and a half to go before the game itself ends up kicking off. And we'd like to thank everyone who tunes in from overseas, Spain, Italy, France, from Australia, out in Africa, South America, and across the nation. We can't do the show without you guys, and we do appreciate it. And in the green room, I have standing by, of course, my national correspondent, Ryan Neff, who's fresh out of, I don't know, Compton or somewhere else, and wherever he's been as of late. And also Sean Kilrain, he's with me as well, our sports contributor. They'll be coming up here momentarily. But if you're not here by now at Tampa Joe's, you can still make your way down here, but it's going to be standing room only by the time you get here. And it is, as I stated before, Championship Sunday. 49ers in town in Philly at Linc. And hopefully, from what I understand, and I'll know by the guys here on the other side, that the weather is probably more favored than it's been in years past. Because I remember the last time I was there 5 years ago, it was a lot colder on Championship Sunday. So we're hoping that with the weather, regardless if it's warm or cold, it doesn't matter in Philadelphia. The big thing is, as long as everyone is healthy, that's what we're all worried about. So everyone seems to be good. Jalen Hurts is feeling great. From all the reports I had read, seems like everything's going well for the Eagles. And by the way, excuse me if I end up being in a shadow here. Unfortunately, because I am on the east side of the building, it gets a little bit of a shadow. But then as I have guests here coming on, hopefully we'll have more clear, visible shots. So with that being said, we thank everybody once again for coming on. I do appreciate it. It's been a while, obviously, since we've had an NFL show. And I'll talk about it a little bit later on, the reason why I haven't been on in a while. But we'll see. And maybe Fuji, who knows? Maybe he'll get a remote call come in. I'm not too sure. Someone will have to send him a message to see if he ends up remote calling in. But other than that, we thank you once again for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We appreciate everyone who's coming down here at Tampa Joe's. And with that being said, I'm Angel with Broad Street South and Sports Radio 102.9. Thank you for coming on the show. And now to bring the rest of the crew on here, as long as I can switch it over and move over transformally, it is my national correspondent, Ryan Neff, and sports contributor, Sean Kilrain. First of all, Ryan, it's great to see you.
I'm Ryan Neff. It's great to be with you, ladies and gentlemen. Final Four, AFC, NFC Championship weekend. A lot to talk about. I can't wait to get into it, my friends.
Well, it should be a good time. And Sean, listen, it's always great to see you. I know it's been a while since the last time we've been on. I've been watching your other show. And by the way, of course, you can plug it away because you guys have been doing a great job on the other side of the house.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that. I'm just geared up for this game and go Birds, baby.
Yeah, it's going to be, listen, it's going to be
How about you?
the most. I'm good. I'm loving the weather down here, which is absolutely fantastic. There's nothing better than obviously being down here in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah,
we go through a little bit of a cold spell, but other than that, it works out really, really well. So it's great to be a part of. Obviously, some excitement here with the Eagles. It's fantastic to see exactly what's going to happen today. I expect nothing but a win, which I'm quite sure everyone is as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to see what's going to happen
Yeah,
with this game. Jalen Hurts probably playing at his best that we've seen. And I don't know if he's going to be still in the running for MVP because he missed out 3 games. So we'll see what happens there. But before we get into a lot of Birds talk, of course, we know we have our KC guy in Ryan Neff. Brian, the rematch from last year. What do we expect from Kansas City? And is Kansas City actually going to get there, or is Cincinnati going to take them away?
Wow, that's a real good question. The one thing that concerns me, obviously, is Mahomes' ankle. It would probably be better off if he just broke it, because high ankle sprains this late in the season, only a week rest. I don't know. I just think Cincinnati has too many weapons on the offensive side of the football for Kansas City to stop. Kansas City's defense has been suspect all year. Every time that you have Mahomes at quarterback, when he's healthy, you always have a chance. But I expect early and often Cincinnati's going to test that ankle out, see how much mobility he has. And even though I'm a Kansas City fan, I just don't see Kansas City coming out with the victory. Their defense will have to play the game of their life today, and if they win, they're going to have to play the game of their life in the Super Bowl. So either against San Francisco or Philly, they're no joke offensively, either one of them. But healthy Mahomes, I would say, I think they eke it out, but not 100% Holmes. Cincinnati's going to key on Kelsey. They're not going to let Kelsey beat them, and Mahomes is going to have to spread it out to other people. And hey, if the other pieces to the puzzle step up, kudos to them. But I just don't see with Mahomes' ankle and the way Kansas City's defense is that they're going to come out with a victory today.
Well, I'm going to wait and see exactly what ends up happening here, because obviously we know that Patrick Mahomes, he said he wants to play. And there shouldn't be any reason why he doesn't play, but you're probably right, Ryan. He should have probably broken it all together. It's going to be hard for him to be hobbling around all game long. You already know they're probably going to end up pushing that leg even harder on this ankle. If you want to knock somebody out, obviously for a Super Bowl and make the run for it, that's where you're going to do it. So we all know that Patrick Mahomes is going to be running around like a lunatic on the field, unfortunately, because everybody knows he's going to be hurt. So we'll see. We'll see how it ends up playing out. But, we got Cincinnati, Joey Burrow. The only thing I do like, and Sean, I don't know if you agree here, Joey Burrow last year, I think the one big thing that he did wrong was all the constant swag leading up to the games. And then, obviously, they get their Super Bowl and end up losing it. This year, I think he's humbled himself a lot more than when he did last season. I don't know if that'll make a difference when it comes to them playing today in KC. But do I expect a high-power scoring game in KC? I would think so.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, Joey Burrow, Joe Mixon's Tamperine, and, the wide receiver duo of T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. And even throw in, the defense is on some, too. You got Hubbard, and you got Hendrickson, who's kind of leading the team in stats, but I think he's come out and get Mahomes. It's just get Mahomes, attacking him in that ankle, and then it's game over.
Well, the other thing I'll mention real quick is it's supposed to be 20 degrees at kickoff time at 6:30, and it's just going to progressively get colder. Anybody who's ever played football knows that in the cold weather, if you got a nick, you got a bruised bone, you got a high ankle sprain, whatever, it just compounds the pain because of the cold weather. If it was warmer weather like Philly and San Francisco are going to have today, different story. But as the game goes on and he runs more and more on that ankle, it's going to start to stiffen up even more. Hopefully he guts it out. I don't know, but it's not like my man Chad Henne didn't he orchestrated a 98-yard touchdown drive last week, which was probably the difference. So,
right.
I hope for his sake he can gut it out through the whole game, but it's just a wait and see approach at this point.
Well, we'll wait and see.
I agree.
Joey B is giving us a couple updates here. First, he says, first of all, Joey B, good to read the comments, and obviously good to see you, but obviously can't see you, but good to see you here on the show. Talking about the Fuji, already saw on the NFL Network doing cartwheels. Would I be surprised? Not the least. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's doing that. But it's I think today, and you look, it's been week after week, and we saw, more importantly, in the weeks 14 leading up to week 17, I would expect more from our backup QB. I don't know what happened. And honestly, it felt like we were watching Uncle Rico. The way we ended up seeing our backup QB, Minshew, doing what he was supposed to do and didn't get it done. I don't know if it was just nerves or it was because he didn't have enough rep time. I don't know what the deal was, but I know that it was probably the worst that we have seen that team in that 3-week stretch. Yeah. And we could have talked about going from the number 1 seed to number 5 seed by week 18. I mean, that would, week 17, that would have been absolutely insane. So I'm glad the Eagles have been able to pick it up. I know Jalen Hurts, he says he's feeling better. Obviously, he's still nursing the injury. But compared to what he looked like last week, and let's not forget what San Fran has been doing, because that rookie quarterback in Purdy, I think San Fran, a lot of people say they're not going to have a quarterback controversy, but for me, I believe they are going to have a quarterback controversy next year, because Purdy, unless you're looking to switch things up, you can trade him, I guess, somewhere else, because he's a starter in the league somewhere. So depending on who's looking for a quarterback at this point, they're going to be looking around for Purdy. If not, you're also looking at San Fran. Does San Fran take away their starting QB and keep Purdy in there? 10-game stretch that you're going now, 10-0. I mean, it's absolutely insane. So I'd like to get your thoughts, Sean. You first, as far as when it comes to what we expect from Purdy today from San Fran.
Like Purdy's been not playing Mr. Irrelevant. He's been playing relevant, and as far as I'm concerned, he's not going to be able to. He doesn't throw a nice long ball like Hurts. He throws those short dump passes. His security blanket's George Kittle, but you can't take nothing away from Debo, Ayuk, and Christian McCaffrey. Kind of hobbled on that hammy or calf, whatever it is, and I'm just hoping we just attack him from the ends. BG has Trent Williams' number, so it's going to be awesome. So what's your popcorn ready?
Brian?
I'm kind of sick and tired of everybody saying he's a rookie. He's not a rookie anymore. Yes, it's his first year in the league, but he's seasoned now. He's gotten a taste. Look, San Francisco's game plan and formula is simple. Don't turn the ball over on offense. Let the defense keep it close. They're not going to change who they are now just because it's the NFC Championship game. They've had success doing what they're doing. They're not going to change it now. The only thing I'm sure the coaching staff came to Purdy and said, look, this is what's been working. Make good decisions. Don't turn the ball over. Don't give this other offense extra opportunities to get their offense back on the field. I see no way they're going to change anything. Yes, have they looked at film of what's worked against Philadelphia over the course of the season? Absolutely. But they're not going to ask too much of Brock Purdy now. They're just going to say, just keep what you're doing. Let the defense keep it close. Let's see what happens.
Ryan, let me ask you a question because, with Purdy, you're absolutely right as far as saying that people keep calling him a rookie, and he's not. By any means, since he started, he has not acted, he has not sounded like, he has not thought like whatsoever. It's been incredible, the run that he's been doing to this point here for San Fran. So it does make you wonder. I mean, he, even in his interviews, you look at, the final week of the NFL season, and he just talked about the tournament. He didn't call it the play or anything else. He talked about the tournament and continues that composure that we've been seeing week in and week out. Last week, I will say, it was probably the first time out of any week that he had some of the rookie tendencies that went on last week. But it was a slow start by San Fran. The Cowboys, they know Green Bay's their daddy. Obviously, Green Bay didn't make the playoffs. So now San Fran took care of business. But Purdy, Brian, could he, and I hate to even use him as an example for Tom Brady, could he be the next TB12?
Wait a minute. I wouldn't stretch it that far. I mean, there's a lot of people who have said that this person is the next TB12. Much in the same way with Hurts with the Eagles, you sort of need to get a full season of what Purdy can do. Let him quarterback a full season, and see what happens. And here's the thing: San Francisco's playing with house money. Philadelphia's been the best team in the NFC record-wise throughout the entire season. San Francisco's got nothing to lose. Philadelphia, because of the season they've had, now they're expected to make the Super Bowl. You got home field for a reason. You had the best record in the NFC to get home field. They clobbered the Giants. Going into this game, they're expected to go to the Super Bowl. There's not a lot of people that are picking the 49ers today because of Brock Purdy. But look, much in the same way Jalen Hurts is a dual threat quarterback, so is Brock Purdy. He doesn't have the wheels that Hurts does, but Brock Purdy is a mobile quarterback. You go back and take a look at the college football game when Iowa State played Oklahoma. I think it was 3 years ago or whatever it was, and you can see there were mirror images of one another. That's what I'm interested to see today. As far as being a TB12, let's not get ahead of ourselves. He's a serviceable quarterback. It kind of sort of reminds me of 2000 when Baltimore Ravens had that great defense and Trent Dilfer was a serviceable quarterback. And because their defense was so fantastic, they just basically said to Trent Dilfer, dude, don't make the critical mistake. Take care of the football. Turn it into the hands of our defense. Let's see what happens. And they wound up winning the Super Bowl.
We'll see. And the other reason why I bring it up is because, again, you start hearing who's going to replace Tom Brady, what's going to happen to Tom Brady. Obviously, down here in the Tampa area, that's all they've been talking about all week long is what Tom Brady's going to do. And they're going to compare somebody to the next Tom Brady. It's going to happen. Purdy, there was one conversation someone had mentioned, and Ryan, you pretty much hit it the same with the other person. Said people are getting ahead of themselves if they think that's what he's going to be in. But as far as the confidence, could it be? And Sean, I'll ask you this question then: if he's not on that Tom Brady level, is he on the Patrick Mahomes level?
Not quite there yet, but he's just proven a lot of people wrong being that 7th round draft pick and just defying all odds. Because when you're a 7th round draft pick, Mr. Irrelevant, I think you're going to do nothing. Just like Tom Brady was a 6th round draft pick, out of shape, overweight, this and that, couldn't do that. But now look, really the GOAT, And Purdy's just defying all odds. But let's see how far he can go with this NFC Championship game. Whether he goes on to be Mr. Relevant, like I said, or that quarterback that San Fran might have a future in, and they say, see you later, Lance. I think they trade him.
So it might be. I'm sorry if you're hearing a screech or something else. It might be the overhead fans that is coming through. It's unfortunate, but there's nothing I can do. It sounds like a playground is actually swinging around, but it's more than likely one of the fans. They probably need some WD-40 in order to get the squeaks away. So sorry about that if you're getting a squeak. It's unfortunate.
All good, man.
Joey B says Fuji in the desert in a couple of weeks. Rattlesnakes will slither away scared. Fuji, the rattlesnake hunter. It wouldn't be surprising whatsoever. Says Angel, when the other guy speaks, mute the mic, and then
back to what you were saying, Angel, about the roster for the Eagles. Everybody's healthy. Eagles inactive rosters: Ian Book, Josiah Scott, Trey Sermon, Anthony Harris, Kyron Johnson, and Josh Stills. So we're ready to rock.
No, let's see. Maybe that noise finally went away. Well, whatever it was, it finally looks like it stopped. So that's a good thing, at least for now. No, well, again, it's going to be very interesting to see. I mean, again, you can't get more hype in this game right now. We saw when Minnesota came into town 5 years ago, and how Minnesota started off the game, and then it quickly turned around for the Eagles' defense. And obviously, this defense has been tremendous from what we've seen, especially come last week. It's absolutely nuts, but you can only hope for the best out of this team today. This defense has been incredible all season round. I mean, you're not talking about the number one ranked defense in the NFL, but they've been holding together even during the injuries, even during some of the playmaking this year. We've seen it. They haven't had the best coverage. They've had a lot of blown coverage this year, but you don't get this far in the season without having a stellar offense and a stellar defense. So we shall see. And Joey B, thanks for telling me as far as muting the mic, but unfortunately, like I said, it's something unfortunately here that's bigger than might be one of the fans. So I apologize for the noise. But in case you guys are just joining us, it is 1:48 here in the afternoon. This NFC Championship game, Sunday, 49ers versus Eagles. We are live here at Tampa Joe's, which thankfully enough, I've gotten the green light from Mike Goodwin, great friend, obviously great sponsor. We'll be together for like the next 3 to 5 years. As I spoke to him before we went on live, he's been with me since day one, since started the podcast. So it's good to have a renewed and renowned sponsorship with Tampa Joe's, and it's been great for them. It's been great for us because we've been able to at least pack the house week in and week out for them. So that's absolutely fantastic. But we look at 49ers. We look at the offense. Again, didn't look too well against the Cowboys. And it almost came down to the kicking game, the way you guys ended up looking at it from last week. So I'm hoping, if it's going to be a high-powered offense game by both sides, because who knows? San Fran may have shaken off what they did from the week before to look what he did, in week 17, week 18 of season. That's what you might expect from today. I'm hoping the Eagles don't fall flat. We've seen it before. When they have a very slow first start to the first quarter, it kind of depicts the rest of the game. So I think if you're going to come out strong, but also don't let your foot off the gas either, because we've seen it with this team before. Strong first half, and they pretty much put it on cruise at the second half of the season. So I'm just hoping that it's not the case.
So true. Couldn't agree more. You know.
Now, Rick, who
and
I'm hoping that, and Rick being he's right across the way here, and I think as soon as I said getting him to eat a little bit, maybe I gotta have him on so everybody can see Rick. But as a matter of fact, I'm gonna let me switch cameras here so I can get Rick involved here in the conversation. So give me a second. I will switch things around so everyone can see Rick and you can enjoy the party. And there is Senor Rick himself. Rick, first of all, thank you for joining me. Yeah, but thank you for always being part of Broad Street South, which you've had. Thank you for the hat, by the way, that you gave us earlier during the season. And I appreciate the support, especially when you put it on at work, because I've seen you when you put it on obviously in the employee room, in the break room. So I do appreciate that, because that's, for me, it's very, very humbling. So I appreciate it, Rick.
So you're ready to go to Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
You can book those tickets.
Yes. I love it.
That's what I'm voting for. Well, if I can just be in your baggage compartment, I'd be just fine. We can bring my producer here, and we can just put me in a handbag, and it'd be fine the rest of the way there. But with Southwest, first of all, because Southwest doesn't come with controversy, we know there's a lot of things been going on. But will they actually be there if the Eagles end up going to Tempe?
I can't even answer that. That's a good question. No, I think everything's fine. That was a meltdown with the system that they have. And I think they learned quite a lesson. It cost them quite a bit of money. I think it was over $825 million. I know personally I got stuck up in Philly for Christmas. It took me a week to get home. I'm still trying to get paid for that, but who knows?
Let's just hope that they will be able to at least to pay you more than anything else. And we saw I know things are not the way they were before. I know it's never been right ever since COVID. There's a lot of things I could say that isn't right, but I will keep my mouth to Eagles only today. But no, in all seriousness, I know it's a lot. I know the system, obviously, they continue to talk about it. It's supposed to get better. Although we hear, too, that it could be a possibility they may end up going on strike, which is probably not the best thing in the world that anybody wants to hear. But, we'll see.
Yeah, that won't happen, though. The government will step in, and just like everything else, they'll shut that down, and then they'll go to mediators and everything. And I think everybody will be fine. It won't disrupt the airline whatsoever. But I will say that you asked me to look for a couple of 49ers fans that were in the building. I think they left. I think they got scared off by all these Eagles fans.
Well, it could be a possibility where I was hoping it would come on and they would actually want to talk and represent, but apparently they don't want to.
I've got my eyes open.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can scrape it up somewhere.
We don't care.
Yeah, well, we've been looking around for at least for one Niner fan, but there were four of them that walked into the restaurant, but we haven't seen them since. So I don't know. Maybe they'll end up coming back. So
Angel, it's a Philly thing.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
and that's what it'll end up continuing to be. Wait, do I see
jersey and they put the green one on? That's what you did.
Well, listen, Mike Klein, the president of Philly to South, he always has rental jerseys available. So if anybody wants a rental jersey to come here, whether it be for the AFC or whatever side, they can end up doing it.
So I do hear a little bit of worriness in some of the guys talking here about this game, and I have to wonder. I look at the division that the 49ers were in. That's one thing. Weak as hell. I look at the game that they played against the Cowboys. They only scored one touchdown, and they were at home. I wonder what the point spread would have been if we were in San Francisco.
That's a great point. Brian, I'll let you get into that one.
I would say San Francisco by 3, to be quite honest with you. I don't think it would be much more than 3, to be quite honest with you. So that's just my own personal opinion.
John?
I'm not scared. Eagles at the, what is it, 2.5? Give me +3. I don't care. Even give me the over. I'm not scared.
I don't think, truthfully, it's probably the only time.
We don't care.
I will say, probably, honestly, it's the first time, Rick, in a while. I think it's a confidence level. If you look at it, the confidence has gotten so high, and it's something we haven't dealt with in seasons past. With Nick Sirianni coming in, I know it's going to be hard for him to even pull off, NFC Coach of the Year. Obviously, we saw WP get it for the AFC side of the house, so we'll see who ends up getting on the NFC side, and who knows what's going to end up happening. But I think it's a confidence level that we haven't seen with this team in a while. Howie Roseman, as much as we know that in Fuji, hopefully we'll be calling in here shortly, but we all know how he's taking a roller coaster ride with us. We saw him during the Chip Kelly era and how bad that was. But Howie Roseman has grown so much in leaps and bounds. It's amazing what Howie has done. So I guess just looking at this season alone and where we are to this day now, if you had a great Howie, what would you think Howie would get right now as a grade?
I'd give him an A. I would definitely give him an A.
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give him an A due to the free agent acquisitions, the one-year deals. The only thing that leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and probably everybody can agree, is Rieger over Jefferson. That's what still bothers me. But
definitely.
He's been hitting it lights out with all these one-year contracts. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Kazir White, wow, just keep it going. Bradbury, so.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Rieger over Jefferson, yeah, but he heard the noise. That's why he went out and signed A.J. Brown, because he heard the noise. He knew you needed a top-notch receiver other than Devontae Smith. And let's be quite honest, Devontae Smith is a good number 2. He's smallish in size. You don't know if he's going to make it through a season or not, which he did. But that's why they went out and signed A.J. Brown. He heard the noise. He realized they needed a top-notch one. That's why he went out and got A.J. Brown.
You can throw everything at Devontae Smith in the kitchen sink. The guy got short. Is he undersized? Yeah, but he plays with a big heart. What guy do you know that goes over the middle in linebacker territory and just catches it and gets hit and gets right back up? But like you said, he's not that big of a player. But lo and behold, you got A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts' best friend. So quite a tandem. You got the 1-2 punch with these two wide receivers. And don't leave out Dallas Goedert either.
I think Dallas Goedert is probably the key to the game. And I also, when you look at it, it's going to be the winner is going to come out with the least mistakes. The one with the least mistakes is going to win this game.
Penalty free. Couldn't agree more.
Well, and I'll just add to what Rick was saying earlier about, I'm in Levittown. This is where I am right now. And the 3 weeks leading up to this game, all the Eagles fans around here are like, there's only one team that we're worried about, and that was the 49ers. They weren't worried about Dallas. They weren't worried about Tampa, Minnesota, XYZ. This is the one team that they're playing today that they were a little nervy about.
All right, sorry, as I'm trying to make sure I can do everything possible to make things a little bit better on the town. Hopefully that got a little bit better. Can't hear me?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
No, I hear you.
Can you hear me? All right, yeah.
Yes.
It's
as far as I'm concerned, the defense, our defense is.
Go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead, Angel. I think as far as I'm concerned, that our defense has just been the bright spot as well as the offensive line. But man, he's got with defensive player of the year. You got a whole front line. Pick your poison. Sue, Linval Joseph, Milton Williams, Sweat, who I think is going to have a big game. Just that whole defensive front, man. Even Fletcher Cox. They're going to get at, what's the name, Purdy, which I think is going to be quite a sight. And the linebackers, you couldn't ask anything more. And the secondary, C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Bradbury, I think, have an interception today and play a big role in the defense today as well. Thoughts?
Well, it's the same way, too. Look at the acquisition of Jordan Davis. I think it's obviously paid out huge for the Eagles. I think that's been the biggest key. If you as hard as we end up having with this team. And it's good to see that he stayed healthy. We know that he had same thing. He had injured early during the year. And sometimes, it takes big games like this for you to even forget about the injuries that have happened throughout the season. So it's going to be I would expect big things from Jordan Davis today. I know that Joey B had put it there earlier that maybe Kelsey could be possibly out because of back spasms. We hope that it's not the case, that it won't be that. But again, we won't know until everything happens. But I think Jordan Davis has been one of the bigger milestones, one of the bigger acquisitions the Eagles could have done. And you got to give it to Howie. No matter which way you look at it, as much as we all like to give Howie a lot of crap, especially Fuji, more than anybody else, it's quite amazing how it's happening with this team. And again, this defense, I mean, you're also looking at, as Rick says, I'm voting for Joey B. But the one thing you look at it, I mean, this defense continues to excel week in and week out. I think the biggest question going into the season were the safeties, our corners, and they've been playing well. They've done just well. I mean, you're talking about pulling guys from Tennessee. I mean, it's hard to put one finger on what this team did this season. It's quite incredible how Nick Sirianni turned things around from last season to this season, and how much more confidence he's had. And you get some people who get really upset. Obviously, we saw a lot of Dallas fans put out a lot of memes and stuff about Nick Sirianni dancing around that we haven't seen. So it's pretty much the same way that it's been quite incredible. So I'm just hoping to see what's going to happen again. And speaking about things happening, the loudest guy in the place here, I'm waiting for him to turn around since he has nothing else better to do. He wanted to get on the mic earlier, and now let's see if he gets on the mic now.
He's stage fright. It's okay.
No, it's always like that. It's every week he says he's going to do something, he ends up doing it.
Yeah. Cheap seat.
You got a Seth Jordan jersey on. You got to get on. Like, come on.
Yeah, well, that's if
There you go.
if he has something interesting to say here.
Talk that close. Hi, honey.
Hi, sweetheart.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
Hopefully everybody else can hear you as well.
Give me a little volume over here, Angel,
Yeah.
Hang on.
in the headset.
All right. Hope you guys can hear a little bit better there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, man.
Hang on. We got somebody else. Hey, somebody else here we got on the line. Give me 1 second, caller. I'll introduce you here in a second because we got the loudest guy in the house here, Mike Klein, president, founder, CEO,
All right.
you name it, all of Philly to the South. And Mike,
AKA Mr. Big Mouth. How's that?
that works too. That works too. And Mikey, when you look
That's
at it, right
Fuji,
year in,
baby.
What's up, Fuge?
Not yet. He's not keyed up yet. Thanks for. I just said. All right. Well, since now Mikey gave it away. Fuji, what's happening out there in the tailgate parking lot? Fuji,
Oh, he was there a second.
he sure was. Fuji.
I can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Give
I
me an
hear
Eagles
you.
chant. Give me an Eagles chant, babe.
I remember my first beer, too.
Yeah. Oh, apparently that's what he's done. Remembers his first beer.
The city of rain right now.
What's the over under on beers so far?
Is that Ryan Neff?
That's me.
Fuji.
Yo,
Let's
the
go,
band's
baby.
back together.
Yeah, man.
If you start talking, we can start hearing the band back together. But Fuji, what's it like down there? First of all, at the Navy Yard.
Yeah, I'm half shot already.
We couldn't tell.
Not surprising.
Yeah, I'm
Take my
so
words
good.
on the Blackberry Brandy.
How are you? Good.
Oh, my God. He
Sorry,
just
it's getting
got
cold
run
out
over.
here. Glad I brought my big Eagles coat.
Is this a sketch from Saturday Night Live or what?
Apparently. So Fuji,
Oh, man.
under the being half shot, what is the atmosphere out there like that?
Up here,
Duh,
it's
Eagles.
38 and windy.
Is it raining?
And he,
There
Oh.
you go.
well, he dumped
It's
himself.
supposed to rain in about a couple minutes.
Oh, okay.
Well, he ended up kicking himself out there.
Well, right now it's blue skies and
See you
80
later,
degrees in Tampa, so,
Weather will
Yeah.
not be a factor down at the link. It will not be a factor.
Oh, it won't be. Well, I mean, if you go,
No.
okay, let's go back in history, as we've all known
Look
this,
at
right? When the Tampa Bay
parking lot.
Buccaneers came into town,
Yep.
and we saw what the Bucs did, they didn't care, correct?
Right.
One defensive back said,
Yeah.
"What brisk, brutal." It didn't matter what the temperatures looked like, and obviously we saw what ended up happening there. So the temperature, I'm not even worried about the temperature. I don't care if it was 10 below in Philly. That would have made a difference.
Yeah.
It's all about the momentum with this team right now, and I think that's the most important thing that we can look at. It's just the way the momentum is being carried here by the Eagles and by the fan base itself. And again, we were just talking about Howie before Fuji was calling in, telling us that he's hammered. Thanks, Fuji, I appreciate it. But you know, Howie Roseman once again, and Mikey, I'll get back to my questions I was going to ask you here in a second. If the same way like I said to Rick, if you had to give Howie Roseman right now a grade, what would you say when it comes to Howie Roseman and the job he's done so far?
Howie Roseman?
Yes.
I think he should run for president.
I wouldn't go that far, but okay.
I would give him an A+.
That's it. He's cut off.
Wow.
Oh, they cut Howie Roseman off? God.
No. No more beer for him.
Okay. Well,
Mike thinks he's in Kansas City.
he probably is. Yeah, no, I mean, Howie has done a phenomenal job, and of course, all the haters that were talking about how he, screwed up some drafts a few years ago. They're nowhere to be found now. But I mean, no, he's filled in the pieces nicely, and I think a lot of teams are going to be following the Eagles' lead. And we have, not only do we have a great team, but we have a great front office, and that's very important because this dude knows how to pull the trigger, man.
Oh yeah.
And we did it a couple of years
Well, he's
ago.
not
Went to the
scared
ESPN.
anymore,
We're gonna
you
do it
know?
again. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's just it. And
Look
you're
at
right.
all these
you know.
people. My God, the lineup is.
What do you think, Angel? Brady leaves Tampa and Carson Wentz comes in.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Wow. I didn't even think about a scenario, but
I
that
think
might-
Brady goes to Las Vegas.
No, I don't think so. I don't because so you guys got to remember too. He's building his mansion down here in Miami, right? So he's building his mansion down here. Miami apparently, if people remember about 4 years ago when he was with the Patriots, that it was at Tampa that they wanted. They offered him a partnership. They offered him part ownership. They also wanted him to come in to be the starting quarterback. So yeah, and then you have Sean Payton, who also was involved in that as well, while he was the head coach of the Saints. So I don't see.
Yeah.
I think. Who was it? Who was our the Raiders? Who was our Raiders? Good Lord, head coach just a couple years ago, Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So Chucky, let's remember here because Chucky was the one. Right. So Chucky was the one that ruined that one with Tom Brady. He didn't want Tom Brady there. And so he was the one to pull the plug for that to happen there. So you got to talk about the Raiders going to Super Bowl at this point, if that would have happened, because they were built a lot better 2 seasons ago than they are right now. And they also have that they're going to have the quarterback controversy, but I don't see him going over there spending. I mean, you're talking about a $20 million mansion he's making down in Miami. You're not giving that up. Number one, and everything he wants to do, his production, his TV12 sports, everything he's going to do is going to be based out of Miami. So I don't see Vegas calling and saying he wants to go over there when it would be more than likely that Tua, if Tua was smart, and I think we were talking about this before we went on air, and I don't know if you guys end up agreeing or not, if I'm Tua, and I know I still have this as far as my brain intact, I have my family, I have my wife, my
Step
kids.
away.
Right.
Retire.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, you got it.
So it's
Well, thank God we're not
last
Dolphin fans.
concussion with the Bengals.
That way we don't have to worry about that.
yeah. Thankfully,
Well,
not.
I mean, I'll throw a name out for it who I think's going to wind up in Miami. They already said they're not going to trade him within the NFC. Aaron Rodgers to Miami. For him, it makes sense. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki. They got a decent running game. They might have to shore up their defense a little bit, but Aaron Rodgers isn't going to like a cellar dweller. He wants to win now. It's later on in his career. It's warm weather. He doesn't have to play in the cold constantly in November, December, and January. I think now they're asking 2 first-round picks, which I don't know if anybody's going to give that, but it only makes sense to me right now. That's where I would go if I want to win right away.
So it makes sense. Well, the same way. I mean, you take a look at now you look at
breaking
WP,
news.
right? What's the breaking news?
Elijah Mitchell's out for the 49ers.
Oh,
That's big.
Damn, that's got to suck.
That is big.
That's big.
That is
Yeah.
big.
And then the inactives, you got Jimmy G out, Tyron Davis-Pierce running back, Nick Zakelli O-line, Ross Ditwiller a tight end, Elijah Mitchell, which I said, Drake Johnson D-line, and Ambry Thompson a cornerback, so he's out. But yeah, to have them lose Elijah Mitchell, sorry for them, our game.
Now we got Fuji trying to call in now for like, I don't know, the 100th time, and let's see what happens with Fuji.
Hopefully he's got the receiver part to his ear.
I don't know. We'll see. Fuji, can you hear us?
I'm outside the link. Almost there.
Okay, it's never a dull moment. Okay.
I don't know if anybody can hear
Right
me.
behind
Yeah,
you.
we can.
Do you have one beer or two beers in your hand right now?
Fuji.
Oh,
Oh, that's awesome.
It's every time he tries to call in, it's always the same exact way. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody do this? Fuji. Hey, Fuji. Brian, see if you can get your man's attention here, because
I wish we could go to commercial right now.
Fuji!
yo.
Hey, guys,
Fuji!
so what are your thoughts on this game? Give me a score.
Hey, Fuji.
Hey, this is a family program.
As much as I tell him all the time, don't friggin'.
Yeah.
Don't cuss.
Well,
Oh, you got him.
yeah, well, he's done.
See you
So
later,
that's it.
Fooch.
Unbelievable. As soon as I tell him, I say it over and over again, don't do it. And he just keeps doing it. That's why he can't. He's going to be, it's only, what is it, 2:11? I'd hate to see him by 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, his
You
blood
don't want to
type
see him
right.
by 7 o'clock tonight.
His blood type's probably Miller Lite right now. So
Oh, I'm quite sure.
Well,
I'm quite sure. But listen, the crowd continues to build here. Obviously, this is a
yeah,
beautiful
man.
thing.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
They are coming in. We got to be close to 400 now, but
You got
Really?
to figure out if, yeah. Oh, yeah. You figure it. So the inside of the bar, I was thinking
300.
about, what, 200 or so inside, just inside the bar area alone.
297.
All right. And then on the restaurant side,
That's full.
No, that's with the restaurant. Then the patio,
right, in the patio.
easy 100.
So, yeah.
And you got
and then
beautiful weather down there. What is it, like 85?
it is currently 82 degrees down here.
It's a little hot
Wow.
with the sunny blue skies and the 80-degree temperatures, but I may have to get another
That's right.
another beverage. There we go.
that's right. Rub it in. That's right.
I
That's
have a
good.
feeling that when the Eagles
one
game
from me
starts,
while you're at
the
it.
temperature is going up.
We'll see.
Well, I'm from Delco, so I used to live through a few of those winters, man. It's all good.
I want to see if I can maybe grab one of the other fans here that are here.
Holy
Someone
moly! What is going on over there,
laying down.
Joe? You're too old for that.
See if we can grab somebody here from Wonder fans, get their perspective, see what they think about as far as the game. See
Okay.
You want me to get you somebody?
if the two other guys over there with the glass on, see if they want to come over.
You pick somebody neutral.
Get Devontae.
Nice to talk
See
to
if
everyone.
Devontae
You
wants
too.
to
Yeah,
come
but
on.
we can't. Well, we also wanted to get the San Fran, fans come out here, but they didn't. There's 4 of them sitting inside the restaurant, but they didn't want to come out. So
Because they're all up here.
Is it?
oh, they are. They did leave.
Oh.
Yeah, they're gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my feelings are hurt.
Intimidation.
That's exactly what
Yeah,
it is.
you know. Nobody likes us, and we don't.
Yeah, can't fly with the Eagles. Get out of the sky.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. What I'm seeing.
Oh, you gotta love it.
All right, we're waiting for someone to end up coming on here.
Don't be scared.
Well,
Come
if
on,
we get-
Philly. Come on down.
You want to jump on?
Hello.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? How you guys doing?
Let's go. Let's get this ball rolling, baby.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
Philly
oh
thing.
yeah. I'm ready. I barely slept, I'm telling you.
That's how it should be. You're like a little kid on Christmas.
Man, I was watching Eagle Eye podcast, Run It Back, all the podcasts, and I was just like, man,
All right.
I don't. What am I gonna do tomorrow? I'm watching everything now. Oh, jeez,
Yeah.
so excited.
That's right. Well, listen, welcome to Broad Street South. We appreciate you stopping by here. And obviously, I see that you're game ready with a good beverage in your hand.
Absolutely.
So now, what are
Highlight, Tampa's finest.
Jack, now, where originally were you from? Are you coming in from Philly?
Okay, so my entire family's from Philly. My father grew up in Kensington.
Okay.
My mother, Fishtown. I was actually born a little bit outside of Philly in Newtown.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
you know, everybody's up there, either Philly or Jersey.
So then you're the only one that decided to venture down here to.
No, we moved down here when I was a little bit younger. You know, got out of the city.
Yeah.
Things started getting a little, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come on. You're lucky.
You're not missing
you
anything.
know.
I work in
Hey,
Port Richmond.
enough said. Enough said.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a good thing, obviously, that you're moving out of here. Even though.
And well, look at this weather. It's beautiful, right? I mean, how
You can't.
in Philadelphia the sun doesn't come out for like a month. So
Yeah.
That's right. Rub it in again. Rub it in.
last time I went to Philly, I swear I lost my 10. I swear
It could happen. Why? Because
it happened.
Uh,
It happened.
this time of the year, it just continues to get better and better as far as down here. So you'll never be colder down here.
That except for the hurricanes, but yeah, no hurricanes in Philly.
That's just it. Joey B. Joey B says, "Now who's this guy?" So I'm sorry. Your name is?
My name is Grant.
All right. Well, Grant, Joey, meet Grant. Obviously, so you can end up meeting the team here. But listen, Grant, it's the expectations obviously are extremely high for this game here.
Absolutely.
I'd like to get at least your input of what you believe was going to happen in today's game.
I'll tell you what. When it comes to these championship games, I really do try to stay humble. I remember back in the McNabb era.
Mm-hmm.
What did we lose? Like 5 NFC championship games or something like that. I think I lost count.
Don't remind me.
So I got to remind you because my point is I've seen. I remember back when I was talking trash and these days I'm just more humble about it. So I think we have a great chance. San Fran is probably the team I wanted to play the least for obvious reasons. They match up against us very well. We have a stud at every position, but so do they, man. So do they, you know. We have a great defense, but so do they.
Well, they're coming into the Linc, man.
My main here's my main thing about San Fran, though. They're a great story, but they're a Cinderella story. And everybody knows how Cinderella eventually ends. And it might end in Philly. So
Turns into a damn park.
Hey man, that guy's a rookie. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
If he comes into Philly in that environment with all that pressure and lights us up, I'll take my hat off to him.
What?
If a rookie comes into Philly
Ain't
and lights
happening,
us,
so
you know what I
leave
mean?
your hat on.
I hope so, sir. I hope so.
Listen, first of all, we hope that Brock Purdy doesn't come into town and take care of business.
Oh no. That's bad juju right there. Yeah,
But
that's bad.
I mean, look at the game against the Cowboys, right? Let's go back to last week. You look at Dak Prescott, and by the way, Walmart apparently was giving away. They weren't even selling the merchandise anymore. They were just giving away from the Dallas fans. So Dallas fans, sorry I guess to be you. But if you look at last week's game, and it was a slow start for Brock Purdy. Probably the only time, as I was saying earlier in the broadcast, it's the only time that Brock Purdy looked like a rookie quarterback within the first, I would say, 20 minutes of that game. And then you can finally start seeing his legs come back.
Yeah.
You start seeing that focus mentality. And then in the fourth quarter, you can kind of see it at times as well when he was running away. The only thing he probably did was just outsmart Dallas. That was about it.
Yeah.
Toe-to-toe, you looked at offensively, defensively, both for the Cowboys and the Niners. They evenly matched. You take the Eagles defense versus the 49ers defense, you're looking at what, plus 20? You're looking at least the Eagles much better than the Niners right now. But again, it's any given Sunday. We know this. We know what happens in Philly as well. I don't think that Brock Purdy may have that huge success he's had within the last 3 or 4 games.
Again, not against this defense anyway, right?
I don't think so. Well, either end, he's going to have to run for his life, 1 or 2.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, he thinks that we're going to have 5 sacks at least.
Wow.
I'm actually,
Yeah, I totally agree.
believe it or not, and I know this is like blasphemy, but I'm actually friends with a Dallas fan, and he wants that gone. He wants that gone already. So
You also take a look at so you're also looking at the head coach, right, from Dallas. Obviously,
coaching problems too.
correct. So he couldn't get the job done yet for a third season now. You're looking at McCarthy. So he couldn't get it done again. So now it gets to this point. Like, what do you do at this point?
Oh, we all know Jerry Jones. You know, it's going to be the hot seat. He'll look for another coach. I don't know about Dak. I mean, that's questionable. We'll see how that plays out, right? With Dak. But
Yeah, that works.
Here's two things. First, about Brock Purdy and last week. They went up against a good defense last week, possibly a great defense. With all that said about being Brock Purdy, who won the game? San Francisco did. So as bad as he looked, as bad as both teams looked last week, Brock Purdy, the 49ers still won the game. And as far as the Cowboys go, everybody knows I'm a former Cowboys fan. 7 years ago, I just got tired of Jerry Jones's crap. Couldn't deal with it anymore. You know, until the old man's gone, I can't do it. But here's the thing. The Cowboys are going to have to make a decision either on Dak or Ezekiel Elliott or both.
I think Zeke should have been gone last year. He's just, I don't know. Running backs are not a hot commodity anymore, you know?
And, I wouldn't put it – I mean, Jerry Jones wanted to draft Johnny Manziel. I wouldn't put it past Jerry Jones if he talks to Tom Brady in the offseason. Who knows? They've talked
he does
before
so good
about –
in the draft, though. I don't understand it.
Jerry,
in the draft, he does so – you know?
With Jerry Jones,
you
never know.
That's for damn sure.
You guys being in the Philly media, you're familiar with Reuben Frank and his podcast, the Eagle Eye podcast with Dave Zangaro. And so anyway, I was watching that the other night, and they did a full breakdown of each Eagles player at each position and each San Fran player at each position. And that's why I was saying earlier, we really do match up. I mean, we got Goddard, they got Kittle, you know?
Yeah.
They got stud guys in the secondary, but then we got Slay and Bradbury. You know what I mean? Like, and their front. I mean, look at Boza. He's a maniac. Boza. I don't know who's worse, him or him or.
It's a revolving door.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's gonna be a good game, man.
Williams, and don't forget Stu.
Yeah. Can't forget. I don't. You know what?
It's going to be a big.
I don't think we're going to sleep on them. I think we're ready. I think we're going to see it. A good one.
Yeah.
And
totally
I had
agree.
a good feeling. I had a good. Even though we had our freaking backup planned against the best quarterback of all time in 2017, I had a good feeling. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I have a good feeling today. So.
I second that.
Man, what do you think the score is going to be?
I'm always so bad at picking scores, but I think it's going to be close.
Go
though.
with your gut,
I think
man.
it might be decided by a couple field goals. It might be.
Here, drink some more of this. This will help you make a decision.
I'm spilling. They're watching me spill highlight.
It's true, sir.
They're watching me spill beer everywhere. They're like, "Sir, the game hasn't even started yet." All right,
okay.
let's say Eagles 21-17.
Graham brings up a lot of good points, which is good to hear, but also
keeping it close, keeping it a nail biter, because the Giants was supposed to be a nail biter, and I don't know about you guys, but I was paying my tab by halftime.
No, that was I think everybody else was too, Graham. If you look at it, I mean,
I was here.
That game was completely insane. It was good to see, but it was completely nuts. And joining us here, Nicholas, thank you. Welcome to the show. Appreciate it.
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
So now, where are you from?
I am actually originally from Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
My uncle.
He's a Boza fan. Guys.
Not today. Believe me, not today. My uncle from New Jersey moved when I was real young, and the rest is history.
So now, is your uncle from South Jersey or North Jersey?
Yeah.
South Jersey?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Eagles fan because of him.
Well, yeah. See, North Jersey, we might have to tell you to leave because that's Giants Yankees territory.
That's Giants territory.
Yeah. So other than that, then you're good. Because other than that, it would have been the worst time
it's
ever.
It's not the Giants. It's the Giants.
Yeah. Well, as far as listen, we know that Giants fans, obviously, the same way the Dallas fans right now, not celebrating anything whatsoever. Although you have to give it to the head coach from the Giants. An amazing job. Dable, you cannot take that away from what he did for the Giants this year. Same thing to get him turned around. And who knows who's going to do it next season.
I can't believe we blew him out like that, to be honest. I mean, that was just a massacre. But we were firing on all cylinders. We fire on all. We play the way we played against the Giants, and I'll tell you what, San Fran's they don't want it. They just don't want it.
I've got some thoughts about that.
Sure.
49ers defense, though, it's a different beast than the Giants defense. So might not be firing on all cylinders today, but that's going to be okay because the Eagles can win many different ways. I think today, one key, Jalen Hurts' mobility.
Well, you saw in the first quarter, I mean, what was Jalen Hurts, like 6 for 6 in the beginning or something crazy like that? Like, threw 2 perfect dimes, one to Smith, another one to AJ. I mean, dude, he just came out was flawless. He was like, "What's up, New York? I'm just gonna show you everything."
He was,
dude. He just lit it up,
man, against the Giants.
Yeah.
I was proud.
This whole season, he's just been tremendous. But today, his ability, strong on the run, strong in the pocket, that could be the key here.
It could be. Well, if you look at it too, Nicholas, right? We've seen, obviously, the difference where we saw him from last season to this season. Last season, what we saw him getting chased out of the pocket the whole entire time, right? This year, big difference because, again, the O-line ended up finally stepping up where I actually gave him, like that unidentified U, if you want to call it, where he can actually see his O-line corners. They've been doing a much better job than we've seen even the last 2 seasons. So Jalen has been able to have, that 4 to 5 seconds. And he's quite smart at the same time, too, because you're talking about a 2 to 3 second release on the ball. If it's something he can catch downfield or even short yardage. So that's just talking about a major difference from a quarterback that we've seen in years past, somebody like Carson Wentz, where even though he was just a tad bit taller than Jalen to see over the line, but Jalen has been able to stay within that pocket, which give him more time to buy, to see what he does have.
That's a fantastic point. And while we're on that subject, let me just say, I feel like a complete moron. At one time, I thought Carson Wentz was the better option. And not an accurate quarterback, better arm, maybe not a better runner, maybe not a better overall athlete, but I thought he was the better option at one point. And damn, I just feel stupid. Jalen Hurts in the offseason.
What's that?
This time a year ago, Jalen Hurts, against the Buccaneers.
I mean, Jalen Hurts, every flaw that he had last year, he fixed in the offseason. And have you seen that from a quarterback before? He fixed his accuracy. He fixed his decision-making. He fixed his, pocket awareness. It's just everything that he needed to work on, he worked on. And now look at what we have. We were freaking undefeated 2/3 of the season.
But it's also, too, you look at it, Grant, last year, the difference was, so you got to remember, you too, Nicholas, the same way a lot of people had given up on Jalen Hurts last year. Let's be real.
Yeah, I was just like, look, we were either going to keep him or draft again.
Right. So
really.
If you look at it, at the end of the season, he took a hard look at himself, took about 2 or 3 days off, according to what the reports were, and he decided that he wanted to focus upon getting better. Just him as a person, him as a player. He's never, and understand too, it's the first time in his career, other than high school, he started 2 years back-to-back with the same team. Never did in his college years. So if you look at it, he called up Tom Brady, he called up a couple of other receivers because you can't, I don't know why the NFL does crazy things the way they do it, but you can't call up on your own teammates as long as you're miles away from your own training facility. So if you go back and you look at Jalen Hurts and what he wanted to do, his focus was a lot better at the end of last season. As the season progressed at the end of the year, he wanted to just keep doing workouts. He went out to Arizona. He went to California. He came down here to Florida. And the whole thing was because he wanted to learn game footage. He wanted to know what it was, the presence in the pocket. What can he do to talk his O-line? Those are things that he was missing from last year.
Right.
He also didn't have that super cockiness awareness either, and he doesn't have this year either.
He didn't have his buddy A.J. Brown either.
That's true.
They're like besties.
Yeah, but, and it does make a difference depending who you bring it in.
That helps.
But you look at all those elements that he did last season compared to this year, you're talking about two complete different people. Now, if, let's say, Eagles pull away today, as much as we all have confidence, the Eagles end up being the 49ers today, correct? But if you look at it the same exact way, you take a look, come next year, it's going to be, or excuse me, if end up passing the NFC Championship game and you get to the Super Bowl, you have to maintain that same confidence. The difference is that 2 week span can make or break you because either you keep that same desired focus of attention or you end up losing. Thankfully, when we went there in 2017, Nick Foles, and let's not forget either the Atlanta game, that could have been the run that stopped everything. So even though you were talking about earlier about Carson Wentz just saying that, we didn't see what we thought we were going to see out of Carson, but without Carson, I can't even forget it either. Without him, we wouldn't have gotten there in 2017 because that magical run he made.
Yeah. You know what quarterback really reminds me of, like, who Carson Wentz should have been if he didn't lose his confidence and didn't have that injury or multiple injuries, really? Josh Allen. Josh Allen reminds me of who Carson Wentz would have became had he not gotten hurt in 17.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
he's the same style, has that same, he doesn't care if he gets two guys sandwiching him. He wants that first down,
Well, here's it. Then that poses a good question. So, Brian,
put the beer down. Put the beer down.
It's down. It's down. It's down. What, you don't think he reminds you of Josh Allen at all?
No, it's not.
I know.
Carson Wentz.
I'm talking his 17. I'm talking his 17th season before he got hurt. I'm talking.
I think
Carson
Wentz
would have became a Josh Allen-esque quarterback. He would have been.
Look at the team card. I mean, Carson Wentz that year was a product of all the talent that he had around him. His deficiencies were eventually going to show up, and that's why he's fallen off a cliff. Josh Allen is a completely different beast. I wouldn't even compare it. I don't compare it to because it's not even close.
I mean, our best quarterback or our best receiver that year was like Alshon Jeffrey. Look at who we have now. Like, it's, I don't know. To me, our 17 team was kind of a joke compared to who we have now. But
hey, guys, before I hop off, I want to ask a question to each of you. Okay,
all right. He's got a question.
Bring it back to the Buccaneers or to the 49ers team. Excuse me. So,
can you guys hear him?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
So, what part of the 49ers team do you think is going to give the Eagles the most trouble today? I'm confident that the Eagles are preparing all week. They're feeling confident. The 49ers are good. What part is it their great defense? Is it their weapons? Or
I'm going to say Boza and his buddies in that front.
Okay, they're
in that front. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, guys.
Rick?
Maybe Deebo Samuel.
Deebo.
Good point.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He's a problem.
Deebo and George Kittle, his security blanket. You got to watch him.
Yeah,
and they better watch out for Goddard. We watch out for Kittle. They watch out for Goddard. Even trade.
Now reverse that question to you.
What was your answer?
What was your answer?
For me, it's Kittle. I think Kittle. Yeah, I think he makes a big.
Kittle is he's a stud tight end. But hey, like I just said, we have a stud tight end.
Well, if it helps, I had him on my fantasy team, and he only produced for me twice this year. So,
see that, guys? Fantasy, no good.
Hence, that's the reason why I say Kittle. Because that's exactly what I want. I want the underperforming Kittle. I don't want the obviously outstanding Kittle that we've seen even from last year. I mean, it's a Kittle. You look at it, you bring up a great point, Nicholas, because even Kittle last year, his play last year compared to this year, it slowed down. Now, I don't know if it's that eagle helmet that he has in disguise. I don't know what it is, but Kittle.
And he's got experience in the playoffs and big games like this. So, we got to
so
keep that in mind.
Rick asked me, so Nick Bosa scares me a lot, especially growing up, Ohio State.
Oh, yeah, I have nightmares about him.
However, it reminds me week 1 against the Lions, Jalen Hurts was getting pressured that whole game, and he's got that elusiveness about him. That might be a big factor. So I'm with you guys with these weapons, these 49ers weapons.
Right.
Yeah. I said Boza first and foremost because he's kind of like their leader in that front. And it's like, Yeah, he's terrifying.
The good news is
He makes me
that
cry.
Jalen Hurts can make good decisions. When you guys were talking about Carson Wentz, he couldn't make a decision.
Oh
in
no,
his life.
Carson Wentz was just It was funny. John Gruden had him in his little quarterback camp that he does every year, or he used to do every year, and he had so much praise for Carson Wentz. He said he was a football genius. Literally said he was a football genius.
So what do you think, Grant? Let me ask you a question. What do you think went absolutely wrong for Carson Wentz after Philly? And let's not forget either that he had put this team together, because if all of us remember, he was having prayer meetings. He had guys all in the locker room. He had them all together, but it seemed like the cockiness where he felt like he was just the it factor.
All right, that's a very, very good question. So injuries aside, I mean, some would argue that he's injury prone. I mean, but you could say that about 75% of the NFL, right? So many guys get hurt. But Carson Wentz, to me, psychologically, man, he brought the Eagles, got them that number 1 seed, and then watched Nick Foles take over and get all the glory. And not only did he get the glory, he got the statue. The next year, he got hurt again, and then Nick Foles took over again and beat.
Right.
I'm sorry, was it the Bears or? Yeah, you know what I mean. Like Carson couldn't get over the psychological, the psychological obstacles that were put in front of him during that time period, And I understand the statue was a gift from Bud Light. It's not like they built it to rub it in his face. But, I mean, they could have told Bud Light, hey, Carson Wentz is our guy. We don't need a freaking backup quarterback statue for him to walk by every day, He lost a lot of confidence. And confidence in the NFL is a big deal. Mental health is no joke. And I believe that Carson Wentz, and still is to this day, especially after he went to the Colts. What was it? All he had to do was beat a few scrub teams and make the playoffs. He couldn't even do that. Colts said goodbye the very next year. So I think psychologically he's just down in the dumps. We'll see him retire, but it's okay. He's got $30 million and a beautiful family, a house, a ring. He'll be okay.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm gonna go eat my buffalo wings.
Thank you, sir.
You go eat those wings. Thank you.
Birds, baby. I'm so excited.
Thank you, Nicholas.
Right on, Nick.
Guys, thanks, Rick.
Take it easy,
No, good.
Nick. Go
Good,
Birds.
valid points. Good, valid points.
We need some noise. We need some noise in here.
Well, they already have the playlist going on with Philly for Freedom and everything else, babes. Unless you can get a crazy chant. I mean, that's the only way. If someone starts it off, maybe we'll get some of the folks out here.
Up there in Philly, though, you guys think it's psychological? I mean, Wentz just went through too much psychological in Philly.
Carson Wentz lacked toughness, and he wanted to run what he wanted to run offensively.
Oh,
He didn't want to adapt.
I heard he's very, very hard to coach.
He didn't want to adapt to change. He just wanted to run what he was used to running, and he didn't want to run anything else. So
EAGLES
He
Eagles.
alienated himself from the team. His only friend was on the team was
The tight end,
Clay Matthews. No,
Chat.
the
the tight
wide
end
receiver.
that got injured and
You
left
know, and I
was his
think-
buddy. I don't know why I can't remember.
And I think
He's the tight end that
first and
just left.
foremost, putting that
That trained Dallas Goedert, basically.
Oh crap!
He's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, no, he went over to Arizona. What am I
Yeah.
drawing blank?
Yeah, that was Carson
Zach
Wentz's
Ertz?
buddy too.
Jason
Yeah,
Matthews.
Yeah, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz was like one of his
Jason-
groomsmen or something like that. He was like, real close with Carson. But I heard Carson, he was hard to coach.
Well, not only
I heard
that,
he-
but having
He had his little
that
click.
facial statue hurt
The statue was
like his psyche,
BS,
you know,
man. They should have,
person.
Go ahead.
They should have waited till they retired. Plain and simple.
guys,
Peterson and Wentz when they retired, or excuse me, Foles. I apologize. Show that statue.
I agree 100%. And their excuse is, oh, it was a gift from Bud Light. Hey, you could refuse a gift. You know what I mean? Or you could explain to Bud Light, hey, we appreciate it, but we're not going to put it up for a little while. until, you know what I mean? I mean, how can you walk past a statue and be reminded that somebody took your glory? He took his glory. Let's be realistic about it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say whether Carson Wentz would have beat Minnesota, would have beat Atlanta. You know, he might have lost against Atlanta for all we know. He might not even have gotten to the NFC Championship game. But in Carson Wentz's mind, Foles took his glory.
What strikes me funny is you guys have a big game at 3:00 today, and we're talking about Carson Wentz.
I know, man. Seriously,
it always comes back full circle. Carson Wentz, the whole entire thing.
He'll be retired.
Yeah, that was my producer that came across the screen there. So yeah, she's out of the studio and in here or out
it
here.
It says 25 minutes.
Yeah, so we're about to get things kicked off here shortly. Hang on, we get one more we'll squeeze in before the game starts. Come on. Take a seat. Come on. Whichever one. Tell him to come over then.
All right, guys. So I'm out of beer. I'm not going to spill anymore. Just to let you know, no more mess. All right.
Good luck.
Don't worry.
No, man. Go Birds.
Exactly. Are you guys a podcast up in Philly or?
Yeah, we're podcasting.
Yeah. Who's that?
We work with
nephew.
Angel.
Oh,
He's running the show here.
Yeah. But
Up in the Philly area, up in Philly, obviously.
things are winding down. You want to jump on? Sure. I'll get out of here. That's your brother-in-law?
Hey guys, it was a pleasure talking with you. I was cool hearing all of your opinions.
Yeah, man.
And I tried to sound smart. I hope the beer didn't mess all that up.
Oh, that helps.
Thank you, young Padawan.
They gave you some liquid courage. It's all
Hey
good.
man, young. I'll be 40 in April, but I appreciate that.
I'm Ron, man.
Hey buddy, it was great talking to you guys. Go Birds.
Go Birds indeed.
All right,
There, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate you as well. So, Ron,
Good job.
we have a new guest here with us. Ron, first of all, thanks for showing up. We do appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, now, are you originally from Philly?
No, I'm originally from Atlanta.
Are you really?
Yeah.
So what made you a Birds fan?
I mean, I'm a T.O. fan. T.O. is my favorite player. So, and I used to always like the offense that Philly used to run with Brian Westbrook, Mike Vick and all them. So I've always been an Eagles fan, diehard for plenty of years.
So, and I think all of us know too that obviously T.O. to this point, if he puts on the pads, we know that he can still play.
He can still play. He can still got some bumpers.
That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback, man. That's my quarterback.
But now, as far as the Atlanta fan base, because you got to think, I mean, here's and I know you say you're from Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's got to be detrimental down there because there's nothing like. I mean, we went through worse times for Philadelphia, but Atlanta has now gone way down.
Oh, yeah. Atlanta just went down the drain a long time ago. I mean, they just haven't had that spark that they used to have. So they need some help right now. They need some help. But we can't focus on them right now. The Eagles yet.
Yeah, well, that's the rest of us here. I don't know. I think close to 400 of us, and it's still growing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see. I think 2 weeks from now, you're talking about a whole different story because 2 weeks from now, if we end up going back to Tempe, this place here is probably going to be a tent more than likely on the outside.
Oh, nice.
Because we were here. So last year, if you happen to be around here, last year for the playoff game, granted, of course, you're talking about two completely Jalen Hurts, right? So last year, we had the tent out here, a whole packed house, 97.5, the Fanatic in Philly, they were here as well.
Nice.
So you have, everybody was here. I think we had about 800 that came through.
It was a lot of people. And by the way, I don't know, did you listen to Hugh Douglas when he was in Atlanta Sports Radio?
No, I didn't listen to him.
Oh, you didn't listen to him? He's back in Philly now.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Well, Hugh's back there, and so's Nick. help me out here, guys. Holy moly. He's with 1210.
You go.
Nick
Okay.
left from Atlanta as well. Now he's back in Philly as well.
Nice.
But now Nick, the only difference is Nick decided to go into, so he's doing a little bit of everything. So Nick is doing sports, politics, and I forgot what the third thing that he's ended up doing. But apparently that was his realm. That's what he wanted to get into. So 1210, because they're trying to mix it up a little bit, they decided to bring Nick Hill back for it. He's been happy being there. So you figured the last three, because John Kincaid also was down in, he started in Philly, went to Atlanta, and then went back to Philly.
Yeah.
Now I noticed he's got the Darren Sproles jersey on.
Yeah.
Now tell me, Boston Scott doesn't remind you of Darren Sproles?
He does. A lot.
I love Boston
Yeah.
Scott.
That's why they got him. Yeah, that's absolutely.
Love that guy.
Well, you also had from K-State, Sean, help me out with this one. From K-State, they talked about, was Darren Sproles 2.0?
Yes. Yes.
Deuces? What was Deuce Vaughn
Scroll
from K-State? So he's supposed to be like the next Darren Sproles. Yeah.
Yes, exactly right. That's the yes.
So he's supposed to be the next time coming, and we'll see. It could be a possibility. But the Eagles right now, the only thing I'm worried about, other than today's game, which I'll get everybody's prediction here as we're getting closer to kickoff. But looking at today's game and what we've seen that's been going on with the Eagles, obviously we take a look at Nick Sirianni, which again, it would be great and amazing. As I talked about before, it would be, coach of the year. We'll see. There's a lot of running for the coach of the year. But looking at what we saw from last week to this week, and I guess I'll go with the score round right now. And Brian, you just coming on right now. What do you think in today's game as far as the final score from the Eagles and 49ers?
So I'm going to take the Eagles, going to put up maybe 34, 36 to 24.
Okay. Rick?
Nice.
I'm going to go with the Eagles on a tight one. I think it's going to be maybe 24-21.
All right, Brian?
Um,
Ryan, matter of fact, hold on, Ryan. Hang on for a second. I want to get two scores from you. One, the Eagles will start off with, and then your AFC boys.
I just think it's going to come down to who runs the ball more effectively today. And I'm going to play devil's advocate. I know, I'm going to go San Francisco 21. I'm sorry, San Francisco 26, Philly 21, and in the AFC Championship game, I just think that Mahomes' ankle is just too much of an issue, to be quite honest with you. They'll be game for a while. I think it's going to be somewhere like 31-27 Cincinnati.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Ryan. I missed the Eagles score.
26-21 49ers.
All right. We're going to bring on our youngest guest here. The TV is about to come on, so I'm going to end up cutting this here. Sure. Yeah, put him on. Hello, how are you? Get closer to the mic. What's your name?
Caleb.
What is it?
Caleb.
Caleb?
Caleb.
Nice to meet you, Caleb. So now, let me ask you, what do you think is going to happen?
What's up, Caleb?
We're gonna win.
And by how much?
Huh?
By how much?
Yeah.
A lot.
By a lot? That's not bad. Now, Brian Dawkins,
I love it.
is that your favorite player of all time? You know, he's, for years, right? He's been the Eagles, left to Denver, he came back, but no one is better than Brian Dawkins, right? So if you ever met him, what would you like to say to Brian Dawkins? Sign your jersey? And he would. That he definitely would. You know, he has a house down here in Florida, up by Jacksonville. So maybe it could be a possibility. Maybe one day we'll end up getting him down here. Okay? Is this the first time here for you? No? Been down here many times? Yeah, you like it? Crazy bunch of fans, huh? There are a lot of crazy fans down here. So it's almost like being in Philly. Now, are you guys originally from Philly?
Yeah.
Where from?
Born and raised in 40th Street, Barron, West Philly,
Okay.
Hospital, and then going northeast. And his mother lives in West Central.
Huh?
Westchester. Chester County. Okay. All right. So now, what ended up being done here?
Weather. Weather.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now, how old is your son?
8.
8 years old. So now, this is going to be a really important question, right? And I want you to answer as truthfully as possible. When you get ready to play football, what team do you want to play for? Great. See?
Yeah.
Got a fan for life here, so I appreciate it. That's the way you end up doing it. But listen, I'm happy that you came here today, and I thank you and your dad for coming down. I appreciate it. And I hope you have a lot of fun, and let's hope the Eagles end up winning today. All right?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Good talking to you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you again, man.
No problem. No problem whatsoever. All right, listen, I'm going to wrap this up because it is about 10 minutes to go. We have the TV starting to get cranked up, and so it'll bleed over the feed. Ron, listen, appreciate you. Thanks very much. No problem. Rick, thank you always for your support. I do appreciate it. My lovely producer, Debbie, for my national correspondent, and my sports contributor, Ryan F., and Sean Corain. I thank you and everyone.
Go Birds!
Go Birds. Let's see. I guess my final prediction would end up being,
baby.
let's see if they go 31-27, I believe that's what ended up happening. And then Joey B, thank you for always for tuning in. I do appreciate it. And listen, everyone, enjoy the game, and let's hope that we're back here in 2 weeks doing this all over again. So,
Or in Phoenix.
1 and 2.
Yeah, man.
All right. Everyone enjoy the game. Go Birds.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, man. Later.